So to pre-populate this form with the product data, we need to fetch the product first. So if we're in edit mode here, after not being redirected, then I want to get my product information. For this, I need the product model, which I already have, and I need the product ID. Prod ID can be retrieved from the incoming request, because if you check the routes real quick, we have that dynamic segment here. So by this name, we can extract the product ID. So at admin.js, here I can set or I can access request params product ID and get that ID from the URL. Therefore, I can then use my product model and find this product by ID. And then here I have my callback where I received the product that was retrieved. And by the way, of course, you should also try to add a check to see if you have a product and redirect the user in case you don't. But let's do it like this for now. So here I will now get my product, and I will then render this page, assuming that I always get a product, and pass my product on a product key. And you can name this key whatever you want, of course. And we can, for example, add a check if we don't have a product. So if this is invalid, if it's undefined, then we could return a redirect for now, which is not the best user experience. Most of the time you would want to show an error instead, but let's now, for now, do it like this. So we assume we always make it here, and we got the product in the view now. So let's move over to the added product view. And here, first of all, let's work on that button. Right now it's add product, but I want to change that button caption if we're in edit mode. Now remember, we're setting this editing property here. So this is a variable available in the template. So here, I simply want to check if editing, and then add a curly brace. If this is true, then I actually want to display the edit or maybe update product text here on the button. Otherwise, and for that, I'll close the first if block here and add an else block, still in my EJS tags, of course. So otherwise here, if we're in this else block here, I want to show add product. And thereafter, I also have to close my curly brace of that if statement. If I now reload this page, we see update product correctly. And by the way, if I go to add product, I'll now get an error because editing is not defined. So to fix this, I also have to make sure that in my controller, for showing the add product page, I set editing to false, of course. And now here, reloading this page will work. Going back to the editing page will show us the update button. Now that is one step. Back to the template. I don't just want to show the caption here, I also want to change the action. So here on the form, the route we're sending the request to should also change, of course. Right now it's always add product, but it should only be add product if we are not in editing mode. So here indeed, I will also output something dynamic. I will check if we're editing. So I'll have the same logic as for the button. And if this is the case, I want to load /edit product, let's say. Otherwise, I'll close that and have my else block open up. So otherwise, this is my EJS else block. I'll add product into my URL here. And I can inject these segments into the URL because this will just be converted to normal text in the end. This is what EJS does, or what all templating engines do. So I'll also close that curly brace of the else block here. And with that, if I save this, we should make sure that if we click that update button, we go to edit product. Now let's go back and let's see if we can pre-populate this with product information. Now keep in mind that in admin.js, I am retrieving the product, whoops, not here, but here in get edit product, and I pass the product information into my view. So therefore, in the view, we can of course use that. And we can set it on all our inputs. Here on value, I also want to check if I'm in editing mode, and if I am, I want to display my product information. If I'm not, I don't want to do that. So same logic as before. I'll check if I'm editing. If I am, then I will display product title here because this is the title input. Otherwise, I will not do anything, and therefore I don't even need an else block. I just do this if I'm in editing mode, otherwise nothing will happen. So if I now reload this, we indeed see product title. And the issue here is that, of course, this is simply output as text. To output the real value behind it, we need that equals EJS tag here, nested into our other EJS tags, like this. So this was now added, equals and closing with a $sign greater than sign. And this can be hard to read. You simply have to divide it up in blocks. You got if, then you got the output, and then you got the closing curly brace for if. And with that saved, if you now reload, you see the real title behind that. Now let's do the same for all the other values. So I'll just copy that value here real quick. For the image URL, I obviously want to output image URL. For the price, I want to output product price. For the description, we got a text area. So here, I will not have value equals. I'll just output the value between the opening and closing text area tags. And here I'll output the description. And with that all saved, if we reload, this is looking good. And now we can start editing our products. Now I want to hook up that edit button so that we can really load the product and this newly added view. So let's do that. And then also work on the functionality to store the updated information over the next lectures.